Morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. How are you today, Lesley?
I'm doing great. How about you, Nancy?
Doing pretty good this morning. I actually had a good night's sleep. It was great.
It helps. I
Not
did
always the
too.
case.
No,
Not always the case.
not with kids and cats and all the things that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes. But you know what? I want to talk about today. I have had a tremendous amount of transformational moments in my life, in my business. And sometimes it's prompted by something traumatic, and other
Yeah.
times it's just prompted by a thought that I had, and like I need to change something. So I wanted us to kind of really talk turkey about what are the habits that got us into our success, but also what were the transformational moments? Because as we fill the next group of Profit Insiders for Interior Designers, my group coaching program that you coach with me, it's really about the transformational moments that these people are going to have. And when I'm doing these application review calls, I really go, okay, what else is going on in your world and in your life? Because it matters. So I wanted to kind of really be honest about what the transformational moments, and there's so many, so I'm only going to pick a couple that have happened for me over the years growing my business and in my life, and what were the transformational moments for you, right? I think it helps when people are living real lives. Like, to think we don't have it sometimes, I think we get that up on a pedestal type feeling from some people, and they got to know that like we got real shit too. So it's true, right?
It's so true.
It's so true. So the transformational moments for my business and my life were many, but I'm just going to start with when I got divorced. Huge transformational moment for me, obviously, for anyone who goes through a divorce. But when it came to my business, it made me stop and look, go, I was able to run my business profitably, but more like a hobby,
Mhm.
right? Before divorce, because thankfully my ex earned a decent living, right? And it was helpful, but I still made my own money, but I didn't have the zeal, let's say, that I always had inside of me, right? So, but when you get divorced, you go, okay, now I got to figure out how I'm going to make my own money in life so that, you feel safe. And that was a huge transformational moment for me when I decided, like, I can't pussyfoot around anymore with this business and make a little money. I need to really do this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm an ambitious person already, so I was already ambitious. I'm not trying to say I wasn't, but that was a transformational moment that shifted a gear in my head that told me I need to get help. I need to have supportive people around me. I need smart people around me to help me grow my business. So that was one of my transformational moments. Tell me one of yours.
Yeah. Well, similarly, on a personal level, having kids was a big one for me. I mean, for anybody, that's a big life transformation. But when my son was born, the intent was I would stay home and my husband would work. But just the way life was at that time, he ended up staying home with our son until he was about 18 months old. And I went back to work.
Wow,
And
nice.
there were pros and cons. And, sometimes it's nice to get a little break from a newborn. But at the same time, I was a seat filler in a corporate job that I didn't love. Like, there was good thing, but there was some struggles. And I just remember thinking, like, why am I even here? I've got a baby at home. Like, what am I doing? And I had already sort of had the inkling of going out on my own. That really helped sort of solidify it. And then by the time my daughter was born, I was self-employed. I worked from home. She would hang out in a pack and play next to me and I would work. And she was 2 weeks old and I took her to check on a kitchen remodel. I mean, it was a completely different life than having my first kid.
Yes.
And that was one of those things where I was like, I want this freedom. I want to do the work that I love. And I want to do it in a way that works for me and my family and my values. And that is one of those very transformational moment for me that has made me like, nope, I am like, we're making this work. I'm
Yeah.
not going back to that. And I'm not giving up the freedoms I have, the family time, the flexibility.
Right. You want to grow your business into one that fits in for your family life as opposed to your business taking over your life.
Bingo.
Right. And it's hard at moments. I mean, when we're coaching people in the Profit Insider program, there are people going through difficult times
A
with
lot.
a
Yeah.
lot. I
We
mean,
all
it's,
are. There's always something going on, big or small, personally, I'd
yeah.
say.
I mean, it's called life, right? And our life affects our businesses. So there are people going through difficult times with relationships, whether they're single, whether they're married, they're trouble with kids sometimes, personal medical struggles that are sometimes happening, and it's all normal and it's all real. And I when someone says to me, well, I want to wait until this is resolved before I do that, and I go, oh, you have a mindset issue. Like, you can't
Never the
keep,
right time. There's never going to be a perfect, you have to make it.
you've got to make it. And these transformational moments are about making these hard decisions that you're scared to death about. It's the only way I can say it. It's hard to make these decisions, but once you make them, you're going to find an incredible amount of peace, because it's something you actually have wanted, but you can't seem to achieve without going through the fear, right? So we help people a lot through their fear. Another transformational moment for me truly was when I decided to become a coach instead of an art consultant working with interior designers, and I hired my first coach. Oh my God, I was so scared to spend that amount of money. And I've talked about this before, but it's genuine. Like, it was at that time, it was $700 a month. And we're talking 8, 9 years ago. That was a lot of money for me. I was just going out of the art consulting business, working with interior designers, going into coaching. But that was a transformational moment for me in many respects. One, I fought through the fear and I hired the coach, and I stuck with it the whole year, because even at moments where I thought, is this the right coaching program for me? I switched my mindset to, I'm going to learn everything I can out of this. And what can I pull out of it that's going to affect me positively? And there was so much once I changed my mindset to look for the things that were actually going to help me. And the biggest thing I learned was work through the fear, get what you can out of the coaching program, which was a tremendous amount. But also I learned what kind of coach I didn't want to be. Right. So that was worth the money right there, that I never wanted to be the kind of coach that just funneled people through programs and didn't give a shit about their success, which is what I was feeling, honestly, at the time. And there was no personal ability to shift based on where they were located, what they had experienced before. Here I was, an experienced business person in with a bunch of inexperienced, 200 people, by the way, inexperienced business people. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like, I did that already. Like, what's next? Like, and I want to do this. Can I do this instead? And I think this actually would work better. And it was like, no, stick to the program. And that was not a program for me.
I was going to say, I don't think it was the program's fault. I think that was and that was such a valuable lesson. And similar thing happened to me. My first design job, I learned a lot about what I didn't want to do as a leader one day, like how not to run a design firm. Those were really transformational moments as a young designer of, if I ever employ people, if I'm ever the boss, these are the things that I'm struggling with, and I'm never going to do that to my team.
Yeah, you learn what not to do as also along with what to do. And also, just when you commit to something, you stick to it until you run it through and make sure and do everything you want to do for your money, right? So I learned a ton by that. So that was my probably second big transformational moment. Did you have another one?
With you, actually. I've worked with many coaches. I didn't even know business coaching was a thing, like design business coaching. And when I was planning to start on my own, a friend mentioned it, and I was like, I can just pay someone to help me do, like, yes. But again, super scary, big investment. But I think you were the second coach I worked with, because I'd kind of got, the first coach kind of got me launched, and again, learned a lot of things that I didn't want to do as a coach eventually. But I remember, of course, there's a lot that I learned from you. We did one-on-one coaching. Your programs were very different. This was 6 years ago, I think, that we worked together.
I was a newbie coach.
And I didn't know it. You handled it very well. I would never have known. But one of the biggest transformations, Nancy, that I learned from you was this. It's 3 words: fabulous, not perfection. And you brought it up talking about sourcing, how, we feel, as a lot of us are perfectionists as designers, we're people pleasers. That's the nature of who we are and why we do the work we do. I think you'd given the example of like finding a lamp, and you said, set yourself a 30-minute timer. If you haven't found it in 30 minutes, stop, because you probably already found it and you're just wasting time. And your goal is not to scour the ends of the earth, to go to every corner, to go to every vendor, to go through every option and find the perfect lamp. Your job is to find a fabulous lamp and move on. And as a perfectionist who was looking for the right answer all the time and doing it perfectly, that was so liberating because it still meant I could come up with something my clients would love and I would be proud of and it would be beautiful. But it triggered me to let go of the I haven't found perfect. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking fabulous. Like, this is great. Let's move
Yes.
on. We got it and let's go. And that little piece of advice, I mean, there was so much else that we talked about coaching. That's probably the biggest thing that stuck out to me from our first coaching time together was just that little phrase. And that transformed my business and my profitability and how I work. Like, it was huge for me.
That's amazing. And it's funny, you're bringing to my head my first coach. I'm glad I was a transformational moment for you because you absorbed one sentence that probably made all the money worthwhile, even though you learned a ton of other stuff. But that sentence will change from here on in everything you do at your business when you're
And
sourcing.
life, honestly, it helps personally as well, just to let go of the gotta be perfect, gotta do the exact right thing. It's like there isn't a perfect, there isn't a right. It's fabulous, you're fabulous, move on.
Yes. And
So
my
helpful.
first coach, again, the one that I wasn't thrilled about the
Mhm.
program, one of the things I learned from there, which you just brought to my mind, was make it easy. That was the mantra. Make it easy. She sent us a coaster saying make it easy, a mug that said make it easy. And I still go back to that in my head when I'm starting to feel anxious. I'll go, make it easy. I'm the one making it more than it is.
Love that.
Right? I'm not going to let that person's drama get into my head and let me make it more than it really is. Their drama is their drama. And the mindset stuff that we work on with our clients is daily. Daily. If anyone thinks you're just coming into one of my programs to learn how to get I need letter templates and I need spreadsheets and I need process and I need to be told exactly what to do at every single step of the way. We do that too.
Yeah.
But the biggest shift for anyone is not the template you've downloaded, not the pricing model called the key that we give to, we sell and we give to our profit insiders. It's the mindset stuff that we work on with you to finally freaking do it and
Yes.
stop using excuses from I'm a perfectionist, I never finish anything I start, I don't have the money, like all real.
Yeah.
Trust me, real, but mostly based in fear that if you can get on my calendar after filling out an application, I can work you through some of that fear and make you realize that these transformational moments, which may be coaching for anyone who's watching, may not be. If it's not, that's fine, is going to change your whole life forever after this. It's not just in the moment. So not only are you going to make more money, feel better, feel supported, you're going to have a transformational moment many times over when you join a coaching group like Profit Insiders. I see it. It's happening. People message us constantly. Oh my God, I can't believe it just did that. Right? Fighting through the fear.
Well, and I think an important thing you mentioned fighting through the fear is you have to actually do the things. I also see some designers in the group that are struggling, but they're not taking the action. They're not using a business helpline. They're not doing the things. And it can, like, we're often, we can't always see our own blind spots and we do our best to encourage, but I think there's a readiness for transformation where you have to say, I'm doing this. I'm going to commit. I'm going to try new things. It's going to feel uncomfortable. And if that is where you are, the transformation is exponential. And like I've seen, there's a few designers popped to mind, like the confidence, they're happy again doing what they do. They're not.
Oh,
So
we should mention here that Furniture, Lighting, and Decor is doing a live interview with three of they're not old, but my previous Profit Insiders today. And I think they have 50 or more people signed up already, but they never gave me the link. So I never put it anywhere. So I'm going to put it underneath here and throw it in the group for anyone who wants to go watch. These three women had amazing transformations. And they want to share it with the world because when you have a transformation, don't you want to scream from the rooftops?
I want everybody to know. I'm like, you can change this. You can fix this problem. You can actually make money doing this. You can
make
make
good
it
money.
Yes.
Yes. You
100%.
can make good money being an interior designer. You can balance your life. Does it happen overnight? Of course not. It's not like I'm going to make it easy. Come join my group and I'll just make it. No, it's hard work, but it's worth it when you finally have the business that supports your life, not your life being vomited all over the business, right? which
Yes.
is pretty much what happens. Or the business is vomiting all over your life is usually the way it is, right? So many transformational moments that are like popping in my head. And I think if anyone wants to do an exercise, because I always like to give an exercise to my coaching clients, so I'm going to give it to everyone here. Write down the transformational moments that you've had in your life in the past and think about the fear that you fought through in order to let that happen. And decide if you're ready to let that happen again. If you're struggling in your business, then join us, be supported, have an accountability group, have homework, have milestones, have someone to look at twice a month, Lesley and I, to say, what's going on with your business? How have you worked on your business in this past month, not just in your business or in the past 2 weeks? It's really important to have that accountability. I mean, you have your interior design business also still. You check in with me on the business helpline, what's going on here and there. And that's the support that you need sometimes, right? And now I have my coach that I do that with. So everybody needs a little helping hand once in a while. Fight through the fear and have the transformational moments that you've been dreaming about and not actually having the guts to do. The guts. That's the hard part. So
it is.
yeah, I could probably
vulnerability of doing it differently and knowing that it might not work, but also knowing that it certainly could. And it's just a matter of feeling that discomfort and doing the next right thing anyway.
Yes. And you know what? On my Instagram, which is managed by my Instagram people, my social media, I think in my stories, it says there was a post, I hope it's still there. No, it's not there anymore, but it was something like, and we've all heard this saying, you're going to do it the same, you're going to get the same results. Keep doing things the same way, but expect different results. Like, no.
The quote is, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
And that's what, yes, that wasn't on I've heard that one. Definition of insanity is playing the same story in your head over and over again, right? There's many versions of that. But the bottom line is, if you're not making money, if you're not happy with your business and you're not happy with your life and you're looking to change things, the only way to do that is to have a transformational moment and do something different than you've ever done before, and hire a coach or come into a group that you're going to do the work and you're going to transform your business over 2023. And I'm going to address one other thing. All over the news is recession, food prices, everything's going up. That's exactly the time you should be hiring somebody to say, how do I morph my business into something that's going to survive this? My business exploded prior to COVID, so everyone could take advantage in a way of what was going on and how to make money. And they made more money than ever. It's not the time to stop now. You don't put on the brakes when a recession is coming. You double down on your efforts and your marketing in the right way. And that's when, if you need help doing that, that's when you come into a group like this. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we've had our transformational moments. Life is real. Yeah. Marriage, divorce, kids, illness. It's just life is tough. And we help you through those moments as well as help you grow your business to become more profitable. So anything else?
I'm just excited. I love watching the transformations, and as this new group is starting to fill up, and we've already got a number of designers that are starting our new profit.
We've got 7 people in so far, and I've got about 15 or so more people to do the application review calls with. The application process is still going on for another week and a half, and then we shut it down. If you are considering getting into a coaching program and changing your life and changing your business, fill out the application. It'll get you on my calendar and we'll chat. If it's good for you, I'll let you know. If it's not, I'll let you know. I'm not taking money from anyone who I think is going to fail and who is not ready, because I want people who are ready for change. And I know you do too.
Yeah. And you have to be ready. Like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Mm-hmm. If you're not ready to do the hard things, to do the next right step, then it's not going to work. But I know there's often these pivotal moments that people are just like, yeah, like I'm done with this. Like, it's time. I'm going to go do this, and I want that transformation.
Right. And we're not asking you to do anything crazy, by the way. It's like, raise your prices. Talk to people on the phone like this. Use this script. Try this. Do this type of marketing. See if it works for you. Let's pivot if it doesn't. Like, it's stuff you should be doing anyway. It's not like we're going to tell you go to 10 videos and post them every single day for the next week. Like, no, we don't do that. We try to work with you, your personality, what's going to move the needle for you. And we think about our clients all the time and ways that we can help them. So, all right, let's get on with our day. I got to go get ready for a furniture, lighting, and decor live interview with 3 of my past Profit Insiders. I'm going to put the link under here and put it in my Profit Insiders, my Interior Design Business Forum group, which is where we're streaming live, but we're also streaming live on YouTube and LinkedIn. So I want to make sure that the link is going to be in the group, the Interior Design Business Forum, for anyone who wants to come watch the interview with 3 amazing designers who went through my program and are sharing their successes.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I will be there.
Okay, you'll be there. All right, guys, we will see you next Thursday for Thursday Thoughts. Go have a great night and a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.